So, ladies and gents, let's talk about sales scripts and should you use it, should you not, and a better alternative, in my personal opinion, on what you should do instead in sales calls. So, I always teach to my guys instead of sales scripts, use frameworks. So, I'm going to tell you guys my experience in using a sales script and when I transitioned to using frameworks and all these things. So, when I got into sales and when I got into pretty much trying to build my own marketing agency way back in my marketing agency days, I used scripts. I used sales scripts that I got from one of my coaches. It was not bad. It was not bad. I actually learned a good amount. But, excuse me, if you want to get to the 30, 40, 50%, 60% closing rates, right? I don't think sales scripts will get you there. I generally don't think, like, having a 50 page script, word for word, bar for bar script will not do you any good. Like, even if you cut it down to like 10, 12 pages, there are some companies out there with 10, 12 pages of sales scripts they give their sales reps. This is why their closing rate are fucking terrible. And to the next level is only having it below 4 or 5 pages, right? And to the next fucking level, one fucking page. So that's how I got into it, right? So if you guys want to transcend to actually to the next level, you cannot rely on sales scripts. So why am I so against in sales scripts? It's not bad. It gives you the understanding on where you are at in the call, right? But my problem is everybody, like 90% of sales reps or closers that uses sales scripts or just rely on the sales scripts, they are so reliant and it becomes their crutch. It becomes a crutch on them, and they cannot. They just sound like robotic. They just sound like NPCs at this point, right? They cannot think for themselves, and they get, oh, I missed this question. Oh, where do I go next? Like they're paralyzed because they don't know what to do next. If the prospect, chimes in and goes to a different direction where they want to go, and they start asking questions, their mind just gets a blockade. Like, oh, oh, they went this way, so I have a 20-page step on how I can get to this level to actually start closing. It's stupid. It just waste of time, and that's why your fucking calls are like 2 fucking hours just because you're following a 10, 20-page sales scripts that was given by your fucking stupid ass company. That's why you guys are wasting your time in a fucking call for 2 hours. And now that's why I'm against it. And this one I started finding about frameworks instead. So in my marketing agency days, I used sales scripts, and it was not good. It was not bad. I'm just saying, you became so reliant on it, and you just get in a mindset that you need it every time. But matter of fact, you need to transcend to a level where you almost don't need it, right? So the next step is I started getting introduced in frameworks. So I got mentored by one of the guys. One of my coaches has told me, sales scripts are stupid. It's like, what? Why? Like, why is it stupid? And it's like, because, like what I've just told you, right? That's why it's stupid. And what's the benefit of just using frameworks then? Frameworks are practically just touch points on where you're at in the call. So understanding where you're at in the call. So let's say you could have 4 main touch points, 5 main touch points, 8 main touch points that you touch on, and that's how you cut off the time of your sales calls. If you have just framework that you're following, a lot of people makes a mistake on, they think they need to have a step by step, word for word, bar for bar script instead of just having a framework where you just follow it, and it's very conversational. You don't have to be robotic. You don't have to sound like an NPC when you're talking to your prospect. So that's the next step, using frameworks. So you might be wondering, how do I create a framework? Well, first step is understanding, right? The very first thing is, where are you at the call? How do you frame the call? So understanding, you set the agenda, right? It's like third thing is making sure that you're actually figuring out how you can help this person, because if you can't fucking help the person, then why are you on the call? And understanding that, you cannot close everybody. I'm giving you guys extra sauce here and there, but that's one of the main reasons why I use framework. And when I transitioned from my framework and like from sales script to framework, I've literally cut my sales call time from literally an hour and a half all the way to like 30 minutes, or maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, right? If they're unqualified, it's under 15 minutes, 10 minutes, right? So that's how you disqualify them as well, making sure that you're not like, oh, I gotta get the sale. You gotta genuinely believe that you gotta help the person, right? So that's one of the things why I'm against scripts, and I highly recommend you to just look into frameworks instead if you're trying to close and getting into a sales position, especially if you're a high ticket closer. You cannot get away by just having a script word for word, bar for bar, just because like eventually you're gonna start closing multiple 5-figure packages, and you're going to be like the B2B guys, and the especially B2B is very, is very competitive. It's one of those things that they will smell your bullshit, and if you don't have a good frame and you don't know where you're going at in the script at the call, they're just gonna literally, like they're literally gonna bully you, like why are you a sales rep, like this is worse, like this is bad. You need to make sure they feel comfortable in the call, that you are in control of the call, you have the frame, you're holding the frame. And for you to be able to do that, you need to use frameworks are the best thing ever. It's not like word for word, bar for bar. It's just simply a guideline and a touch point on where you're at the call. But yes, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to give you guys a quick advice on why you should transition from scripts all the way to framework. But yes, as always, be a creator, not a consumer. Create something today that will inspire you and others. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.